Hello and welcome to the Vent Sesh. I'm Jared Freed. We're here every Friday with real people, real problems. We're going to get through these issues, talk them out in a sensible way, try to figure out solutions. But listen, since you're here on YouTube land, all I need you to do, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. I've been doing live videos. You can hit the bell and get updates anytime I put something up on YouTube. I'm really enjoying doing things here, so I want you to be involved with it. Get subscribed to the channel. Also, if this inspired you to send in your own Vent Sesh question, I want you to send it in. Jared Freed, or I'm sorry, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com, and use the subject Vent Sesh. So title it Vent Sesh, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com, and send in your problem that you want to get answered on this channel. So today we have two very special guests. I'm very excited. Our first guest is dealing with an annoying neighbor situation. That's something we've all dealt with. And then our second guest is dealing with a love triangle. Yes, we're going to get juicy here on the Vent Sesh. Let's go to our first guest. Very excited to have her here. Ashley, come on out.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Ashley?
I'm good. I do live in an amazing apartment complex.
Hold on. Before you get into it, let's creep in on it because we're going to start the clock in a second. I want to know, where are you? Where are you from? What do you do?
So I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm an executive recruiter, so I work from home. So I'm here all the time. So that's basically it. Yeah.
And are you you live alone? You said
I live alone. Yeah.
You're on your own, and you're in this beautiful apartment complex.
Yes. So it is really cute and cool, and there's a lot of like young people. They have every month they have like a market where they have vendors come in, and it's just a really good environment to live in if you're just like a young professional. I'm 28, so it's a really good community, and I've made friends with a lot of the people here. So
I have questions. So are you in like the area where people move? Like this is the young center of
young center. Yeah, there's basically two really like young center neighborhoods in Louisville, and this is one of them. So
I call them like the millennial comforter because it has everything that a millennial could ever want. It's got like the cute bars, the taco place, the place
food trucks come here. Yeah,
a taco
food trucks comes. Yeah.
They got the outlets under the bars so you can plug in your phone. Like it's really got it all. Coffee shops. It's no Starbucks. It's not. Everything is kind of catered to a millennial looking to feel comfortable. Right? Is that kind of the area?
Yes.
So you
coffee shop. It's. I moved in July, so I've been here for a hot minute now.
Okay, so July, but that's middle of a quarantine, middle of a pandemic. How has that been for the area?
So I didn't even see my apartment in person when I got it. I came to see it like a couple days before I moved in because the old people had to move out and then I moved in. I just saw a video of what it looked like, and I'd had friends that lived here too. So I kind of always knew about it. It's like, again, it's kind of the like cute place to live.
And you said in your email you said it's a refurbished cider mill or something.
Yeah, it used to be a cotton mill.
A cotton mill. Okay, so this is all cute and picturesque, and I get it. Where did you live before? Where were you before?
So I actually did live in another cute apartment complex it was a different neighborhood, and it was probably more, it might have been, this neighborhood is a little bit more up and coming, but that neighborhood is there's a ton of bars and stuff over there, but my complex there, it was just a smaller apartment, and this is just more like aesthetically pleasing. It was more like a luxury apartment complex. It was like pretty standard that it was cute, but it was.
So we could start the clock because we're going to get into this question now. What are the amenities? Doorman? Do you have?
We don't really have like doorman kind of thing, but no. But it does a lot of security. Like it's behind a bunch of like key fobs. There's a dog park here. There's a pool. There's a really cute outdoor area that has fire pits that are just like propane tanks, so it's like easy to turn on. And it's just
But is there
cute.
a super? Is there people working at the building? Like,
Yeah, so there's ladies in the leasing office, and then
okay,
there's maintenance guys as well.
got it. So what's going on?
So when I moved in, there is this white noise that plays at night, and I know it sounds crazy, but it sounds like waves crashing, and I sound like I'm like underwater. I know people like white noise. I hate the white noise, and
Okay,
so it bugs me so much. And I know I sound like the crazy person because it's like a white noise machine, but our walls are just
sure. So it's your neighbor has a white noise machine,
yes.
and you can hear it through the walls.
Yes. And so I know I sound crazy, so I never wanted to complain about it. But one night I had had some wine and I was just like, I can't deal with this.
That'll do it.
I can't deal with this. And I wrote a email to the leasing office that was like, I know this is crazy, but I can't. And then I woke up in the morning like, oh no. And our leasing office opens at 10. And I ran over there at 10 and I was like, have you checked your email yet? She was like, no. And I was like, listen, like I wrote an email last night. It wasn't bad, but it was embarrassing because I was like, I hate this white noise machine. And so they did understand and they put notes on everyone's door, including mine, which made me feel good. Like it wasn't me,
Great.
but
I like
uh,
that.
yeah, that, hey, there's like a water sounding noise, whatever. But it didn't stop. But I'm just like, okay, cool. But there's just other factors that come into play that make it even more annoying because so this side of the wall, there's like a 5-year-old kid, which he does not bother me. I get 5-year-olds or 5-year-olds. And like even right now, like if I wasn't on earphones, you could probably hear him. He's like running around right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can
um,
hear the steps.
yeah, exactly. And so running, jumping. And I was in a call like basically like this for a work call. And one day he was just really loud that day, just again, shaking the floor, shaking the walls. And the neighbor that has the white noise machine, he yelled, shut up through the wall at me. And I was like, he yelled, shut up through the wall.
Yeah.
And but keep in mind too, also is that it's not just the white noise machine. He listens to like Ben Shapiro and like Alex Jones at like 7 a.m. I get like so loud on a speaker that it wakes me up at 7 a.m. in the morning, even on a Saturday, listening to Ben Shapiro. Do you know who Ben Shapiro is?
I understand. So you're building a character profile right now
Yes.
because we're starting to understand that also included with him playing so this is a male playing
Yes.
the white noise machine to go to bed. There's also a person that you don't think, because of their affiliation, which it'd be easy to make this jump, and I'm with you, because of their affiliation with and the things they like to listen to in the morning, also loud, also a bit annoying. It's like, do they have a grasp on reality? Or are they up for arguments at all time?
Exactly. And then he yelled, shut up through the wall at me. And it was really the kid next door. But I'm just like, that's like, why are you yelling shut up through the
So,
wall? And then just a couple of days later, he yelled shut up through the wall again at me. I was listening to music, but it was on my Google Mini and it was
sure.
at 7 o'clock on Saturday.
So I have many opinions. Is there anything else going on? Because I do think you're approaching this in a way that might be a disservice to your problem.
I
Because
don't
you keep saying, I know I'm crazy for being mad at a white noise machine. You're not crazy. I think you need to stop apologizing.
Mhm.
If it doesn't matter if it's the Calm app, but if you didn't play it to go to sleep, it's not going to calm you. So you have a right to your own version of what relaxes you at night. I think right
It
now you're
sounds,
so
yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like if you've ever seen, this is what it sounds like to me, and it gives me anxiety, is Saving Private Ryan when he's storming the beaches
sure.
of Normandy. That's what it sounds like to me.
But
And
it
I'm
doesn't matter. You're caught up on, Ashley, and I don't blame you, but you're so
yeah,
caught up on be having the right to be upset that you're now not going directly at the issue. because you're already assuming what their feedback is. Well, it's a white noise machine. It should put you to bed too. No. My girlfriend hates Halloween decorations, so that she has a fear of them. I can't look at her and go, well, that's stupid. That's her fear. That's her right to have fears, just because. And just like you're saying, you hear the ocean, you think of Saving Private Ryan. It doesn't matter that Ben Shapiro, Alex Jonesman over there likes to fall asleep to it. It doesn't matter. You guys are neighbors. You have to live civilly. You have to live together. You have to make. And so I think when you go immediately, when you email and you go, well, I was drunk and then I apologize. Now nobody comes at anyone because they go, you have to stay firm on, I just want to go to sleep. And we have to figure out a solution. This isn't about who's right or who's wrong, because and I'm a loud person. I scream at the TV every Tuesday night for The Bachelorette. I get it. Someone could come to if someone sent an email to the leasing office and then put a note on every door, I would just go, I guess, you need to hit the person right at the heart and right at the sensibilities, right at the rational, reasonable brain, and not graze their shoulder. Because right now you're doing a lot of shoulder grazing. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm crazy. You're not crazy. There's nothing crazy about losing sleep. You're losing sleep. It doesn't matter how it's happening. It could be a cat purring in your ear while petting you. It doesn't matter what it is. You're losing sleep. Let's beginning, middle, end. That's it. So I would say to you, I think you need, and also considering the Alex Jones, Ben Shapiro mindset, I don't agree with, I'm not an Alex Jones, Ben Shapiro fan, but I know the type of people that usually end up listening to them are argumentative, are people that believe in, who like dealing in conspiracy theories, and like dealing as the underdog in the world is against me. So that being said, a note on the door is going to be, wow, everyone in this apartment's against me. Everyone, you need to get out of the world of toneless conversation and into the world of empathy and tone. So that world includes knock, knock, knock. Hey, man, I know we've never met. I just want to say hello. And have you done this?
I've never even in the hallway.
This is my point. But again, you're going off of like, listen, I'm sure and I don't want to be a good person, people on both sides guy. Yeah. But just because he listens to those radio shows doesn't mean he's going to be this erratic, crazy person. You hope he isn't.
He yelled up through the wall, though.
I think
I'm scared.
Listen, go with a friend. Have a friend over. Mm-hmm. Have a glass of wine with a friend, and go with a friend. Or because I think maybe starting at, hey, I'm really sorry. I know I played my music, but I've heard you yell through the walls. I think we should talk it out. I just want to talk to you, and I just want to come to a common ground. And because I think when people get the note on the door, they feel they're being attacked without reason. When you do have a good reason, hey, I just want to let you know, come in my apartment and you can hear it. Invite them in. And listen, I know this all sounds, when someone yells, shut up through the walls, I can understand being afraid. Have a friend over, have a few people over during a party, invite them over for a drink. Hey man, I really want to talk to you about what's going on. And also, I know you've yelled, shut up. And I don't want you to think I'm running around with my shoes off like a 10-year-old, like a 5-year-old. There's actually a baby next door. So maybe you bring that person into it. So I think when the internet is, let's pause the clock for a second. I'm almost done. The internet lacks tone. A note on the door lacks tone. When you meet the people, when you get in front of them, you see eye to eye, you now have empathy. Maybe he looks at you and goes, oh my God, I had no idea the machine is that loud. And but this also involves owning your problem. Your problem is a real problem. You're not crazy. And I get it. Oh my God, my mom hugs me too hard. Yeah, she fucking hugs you too hard. The idea is but she loves you. You have your mom. At least you have your mom. It's no, there's a problem here. I can't sleep. So, hey, man. And I understand the feedback of I'm a little scared of this guy. I never seen him. He just yelled, shut up to the air. So I would say bring a friend, strength in numbers, strength in community, and bring a bottle of wine and be like, hey, man, come hat in hand, gifts in hand. Oh, hey, I baked these cookies. I just want to let you know. I've heard you yell shut up a couple times. I just want to get on the same page here because I'm looking for a solution because he's dealing with noise too.
Yeah.
He's already admitted that he has a problem with noise. So, hey, let's get on the same page so we can find a solution. And if you ever have a problem in the future, here's you can knock on my door, drop me a note anytime. You don't have to give me your number. But I'm saying the way you've gone about it, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's if the person is not deals in conspiracies, deals in arguments, they might take it's easy for them to take the lane of like, everyone's against me, and that's not where you're at. You're a very, very nice person who all you want is some sleep.
Literally.
So I think that's the way to go. And I think you invite a couple friends over, have some wine. You're a beautiful woman. I'm sure you got very good looking friends. I'm sure he's gonna be very nice to 3 women, being like, "Hey, can we talk for a second?" Like, I think he'll invite you.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Do you feel helped?
I do feel helped. You've literally best advice. None of my friends have given me any advice like this, so I appreciate it.
That means a lot, and I want you to invite those friends over, get them over this week, have them over the Bachelorette, and have them, and then do a little knock, knock, knock. Nice to meet you. Here's some wine. Can we talk for a second?
Yeah.
Boom. You're in.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Ashley, thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure to meet you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Listen, people, real problems. How do we figure it out? And if you want your problem talked about, I'm not an expert. We're just going to talk it out. jtrainpodcast@gmail.com, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. Title it Vent Sesh. We'll reach out to you. I want you to subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button right now. We're putting out videos like this all the time. I got Vent Sesh, The Rose Rehash. We got City Riffs. I'm putting out stand-up videos. I want you to subscribe to the channel. And listen, I want you to comment in the comment section. How would you have helped Ashley in her situation? Is there anything you disagree with? Put it in the comment section. Is there anything you would have added into the advice that was given? Add in the comments. Have you had a crazy neighbor? Have you had a neighbor that was yelling, shut up to the ether? I want to hear your story. Write it in the comments. Let's go to our next guest. I'm very excited. Bethany, come on out.
Hey, Jared.
Hi, Bethany. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm super excited to be here and get your take on this situation that I'm dealing with. I'm excited.
You have a tough one, but we have a little bit of a connection issue, so I'm going to let you kind of go. Give us where are you, what you do, and then I want you to get right into your situation so we can hear it like as one thing,
Okay, sure. So I am in Austin, Texas. I work in the tech industry. So similar to your previous guest, I'm able to work from home, which is great. And the situation I'm dealing with right now is my boyfriend's longtime friend, let's call her Stephanie. Her and I don't necessarily see eye to eye, and there's a few reasons why. So
hold on, you got to go back a second. You cut off at the worst possible moment.
Oh,
your
no.
Boyfriend's long-term friend, Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Her and I do not see eye to eye.
Okay.
So we first met each other. My boyfriend and I met last April. And so at the time that Stephanie and I met, we had been dating. Let's call him Jake, my boyfriend. We'd been dating for like 3 or 4 months. Mm. And you
started dating in April, and now COVID, quarantine. You guys are considered a quarantine relationship, correct?
No, so this is last year. This is like 2019.
So you've been together for 1.5 years.
Sort of. There's like a middle part that I'll get to where there was like some drama there as well. So Stephanie and I, she visited Jake with her fiance last summer. And so that was the first time that I got to meet her. And you know those people that you meet for the first time and you just like don't feel like you guys are on the same page, you're not really vibing. They're not very genuine. That's how I felt about her.
How would you describe that first meeting over the summer? And she's with her fiance.
She's with her.
How would you describe her being not genuine in that first meeting?
So when she didn't really she didn't try to get to know me. And when I tried to facilitate conversation, it felt very surface level. And she was sort of on this high of like just getting engaged. And so she was like running around, like showing off her ring to everyone, like asking people to, like strangers, like, look at my ring, I just got engaged. And so, you know, we were on the hype of that and trying to be supportive and trying to get to know her a little bit, but I just don't think we got off on the right foot, the two of us.
Okay.
So then fast forward to March of this year, quarantine hits, my boyfriend and I break up. We take some time apart. Meanwhile, Stephanie, come to find out, Stephanie had been cheating on her fiance for the past like 2 years. So they end up breaking off their engagement. She moves back to Austin and confesses her love to my boyfriend. They've been friends since like elementary school. And she tells him.
Your boyfriend's not the guy she was cheating with?
No.
Okay.
Different guy. Yeah. So she confesses her love to my boyfriend, who we're not together at this time that she does that. She tells him she wants to be with him. She thinks that they're meant to be, et cetera, et cetera. And this story is coming from what he told me. So then him and I start to talk again and like hang out, get to know each other again. So we're kind of at the phase where we're exclusively seeing each other. And she's still in the picture, and it makes me feel very uncomfortable because he also opened up to me that they had been romantic in the past, like in 2014 or something.
Okay. What phase of life that they were? What phase of life were they to get like hooking up?
I don't know much of the details because I think it'll make me more anxious if I do know the details. But he was probably just getting out of college around that time. Okay.
So around out of college age. And now how old are you guys now?
I'm 28. He's 31.
He's 31. Okay. So 2014. Okay.
Yeah. So they continue to hang out one-on-one in groups. We don't always hang out together, like the three of us. I think that's a very rare occasion. But we did go on a boat party like a few weeks ago. And I was like so nervous about it because I was like, okay, haven't had good experiences with this girl in the past. No, she's not like the greatest human being.
Yeah.
Given my experiences with her. But I also was like, I should give her a chance because, you know, she's not going to go away. And I think it's unrealistic of me to ask him to cut her out of his life because it's one of his oldest friends, right?
Sure.
But I did let him know that I feel uncomfortable around her given their history.
Yes. And what did he say to that?
He just kind of nodded. He like he acknowledged it, but like I don't think he knew the right response or what to say.
Okay. And so how did the party go?
It went great, actually. Like I was so nervous the night before, having like a mental breakdown, and I decided not to open up to him about that because I didn't want him to feel more anxious that day as well. So I was like, I'm going to make the decision. I'll just come and bring my best self. I'll be, you know, open-minded. And the whole time he was just like checking in with me, like put his arm around me, like asked if I needed a drink. Like he really made an effort to spend time with me and make sure that I felt important, I guess.
Well, as long as you felt that, that's great. How was she at the party?
She was very different than when I met her last summer. She seemed a little bit more subdued and not as like crazy and wild. But I could like feel her eyes on me.
Sure.
You know, like when you feel like people are watching you, I kind of felt that.
Yeah.
But I guess my question is like, what do I do going forward? Like, how do I figure out this weird relationship between, you know, their friends, him and I are spending a lot more time together and like working on us, but she's still in the picture and I don't know how to navigate around that friendship.
It's very difficult because you have a lot of problems at once. What is the status of you and the guy right now? And why did you break up in March? What were the reasonings? Were you making that happen? Was he? What brought you back together? There a legitimate break? I have questions more. Forget her for a second because I understand everything about her considering what you've told me. You don't trust her. She's a cheater in the past with other people, so obviously she doesn't really care about, you know, the morals of those things. So that's something that you're always going to be thinking about. Can we stop the clock, Brandon? So that's always something that we're going to have on our minds, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Didn't have a great first meeting. I can totally understand why her eyes would be on you. You are the one he has, quote unquote, chosen, as opposed to her when he had the chance to run away with her and be the romantic ending. I also understand why she would have gone to him. He is an easy landing spot to have a romantic, this should have been rom-com moment. Oh, I cheated, but it wasn't meant to be. I'm not a bad person. I ended up with my elementary school sweetheart. Like, I understand how someone could write that story in their mind, as untrue as it may be. Like maybe, oh, and he's someone I've hooked up with in the past. Again, you saying that they hooked up with each other in 2014 post-college. That's a very normal place to hook up with someone that's a constant in your life, someone that, you know, especially when you're not sure about jobs and all that. So like everything kind of makes sense, including your anxieties, which I would have them as well. You have this person that's sticking around, but where does the relationship stand with you? Forget her for a second, because we know I'm with you on everything, but it's nice that she's gotten better, but I understand why the eyes were on her. But what's going on with you two?
So I broke up with him like right as quarantine hit, like March, April timeframe, because I just felt like he wasn't as in it as I was. I wasn't feeling, I told him I loved him and he didn't say it back. And I said, I don't need you to reciprocate this, but I need to know that we're on the same page in terms of our relationship moving forward. And it was a few weeks after that I just realized, like, I don't think he's as into this as I am. So I told him that. We didn't talk for probably 2 months. And then he asked to see me. He said he had some things on his mind that he wanted to get off his chest. And in the past, we weren't great about communicating with each other about our true deep feelings. And I think that he spent the last 2 months like really working on that. And so when he came over, he had an iPhone note. Like it was so cute. He was like, I want to make sure I'm getting everything off my chest that I've been wanting to say. So he basically was like, you know, I'm sorry for the way I treated you. You deserved better. And he didn't ever mention getting back together on that first initial meeting. He just said, like, I just want you to know that I did care for you deeply and I still do. And he basically like cleared the air. And then like we spent the summer, like I was seeing other people this summer, like, you know, doing the best that I could to be sane during quarantine. And we would talk here and there. He kept reaching out, trying to make small talk. And then finally, like, I gave him a chance and we went out to dinner and he just seemed so different. And I told him, I was like, if we're going to try this again, like we have to start from scratch. We have to start as we're dating each other and getting to know each other again. And I see that you've grown and I'm working on myself too. And I think that I always knew that we were going to be good partners together. There was just like shit that we both needed to work on ourselves.
Now, how has it been? Has it gone from scratch? Are you guys together? What's the deal now?
It's been great. We've been having a lot of really hard and raw conversations, which we never did when we were actually together last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think we just, like, we never fought. And so now we're not fighting, but we're like, when he does something that doesn't sit well with me, like I feel comfortable bringing it up to him. Whereas before, and vice versa, before I would just like push it to the side and be like, it's fine. So about a month ago, I let him know that I'm not seeing anyone else. I'm not on the dating apps. And he was like, well, I'm not doing that either. Like, I've been trying to win you back since May. So we're just like, we're taking things slow. And I'm not really interested in a label at this point, because given the history that we do have, what I care most about is that we're both equally in this, because that was the reason we broke up last time, right? So I want to feel like this is an equal partnership instead of me, constantly giving more effort than he is.
Now, do you feel like it's an equal partnership right now?
I do.
Okay. So why not be in a relationship? Why not be like, yeah, okay, so we're together? Like when he says, I've been trying to win you back, like that to me is a very like kind of an easy thing to say. And then I've been trying to win you back. And then it's like the end of that sentence is, so now it's great that we're back together, to me.
Yeah, I know your thoughts, Jared, on like the exclusive but not in a relationship. And I'm like, I'm trying not to let that stress me out and just take things day by day and ask myself, like, is he serving me? Is he serving my life? Is he making me happy? Am I having fun? And am I doing that with him as well?
I'm with you on all that, but when you first told the story, it sounded like you were like, okay, he's like, I'm trying to win you back. And you go, great, good to know. But now it sounds like you're saying I'm in a exclusive but not together thing, because who set up this kind of arrangement? Like, how do you feel comfortable in this arrangement as it is today?
I would say yes. I would like him to meet my family, and we're planning on that over the holidays. But I don't want to put like pressure on this, because things are going really well right now. I feel like I sound like a dude now.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you sound like anything. I think you sound pretty normal. I'm just saying, like, to me, if the relationship is strong, this person is a crazy person, and if the relationship is not strong, this person has some you fear this person. So, you know what I mean? Like, and I understand not putting pressure on it, but at the same time, like, you've seen what it's like when you guys broke up. You were fine. Things are okay. I think good relationships actually exist when both people are okay with leaving the table at any time. So like I think like the idea that that you're worried about this other person, and I don't think there's anything to worry about, because they've already like expressed their love for them, but you do understand you have to deal with them, which can produce anxiety. I totally understand that. But like I would be like, if I was comfortable with my girlfriend, but she had this friend around, I'd be like, okay, but I'm comfortable with my girlfriend. Like, I guess I hope I'm not the one that's the screwed over one. Like, I also wouldn't be afraid to say to her, like, hey, yeah, it's fucking weird. Like, I don't think that's pushing someone away from their friend, is saying like, yeah, I'm trying, but A happened, B happened, C happened. I'm going to push away a little bit. You guys are free to be friends. I'm not going to like get in the way of that, but like, just know that like they don't treat me right. And then at that point, that goes back to your original thing of like, he makes me feel loved and valued and good. Like this could change that. Like he could say, for him to just nod along when you say, hey, this friend like doesn't like kind of like watched me the whole ship party. Did you see that? Like, I think that's a little bit of an admission. At the same time, it's like it's just not really helping. you know, like and there's a point where that non-help is the problem, not the person. And I think when you keep it like when you when you make it like 7 different things at once, it gets confusing and hard to deal with. When you make it about your relationship, where it's like, listen, you can hang out with your friend. I've dated millions of people with friends. How is this the one I'm having an issue with? Obviously, I'm not a crazy person, so I'm getting a vibe. If you don't feel that vibe, that's fine, but just know that I get that vibe. And at a certain point, he has to kind of remove himself from them. B, let you know that he gets it and you're right, but this is like, I've had friends where I've had significant others be like, hey, that person I don't get along. And I go, okay, I understand that. I'll do my best to like try and dance around that a bit, but also understand that this person, I have value of this person because in our relationship for these A, B, and C reasons. Like if he can't say that and kind of like just admit to you like, okay, wow, I didn't know that. Let me just see it the next time. He has to work with you on it. And I think that's a difference than you shouldn't see this friend again. Like you're not saying that, but like, I think the fear of the conversation is that you'll sound like you shouldn't see this friend. But the conversation is, hey, when you don't even talk with me about this, I feel less valued.
Yeah, like bring it back to how it's making me feel.
Yeah, and I just think that to me, like if I was approached with your friend was such a bitch, I would go, whoa, what happened? Like I wouldn't just nod. I would go, what happened? And then the person would tell me the story and I would go, well, did this happen? Did this happen? Like, and then we'd have a discussion. And I would hope that my significant other would value my history with the person too. You know, like it goes both ways. Like, hey, I have this issue. Okay, let me know about the issue. If you go, well, don't question me on it. Like, then I'm like, okay, we're not really talking right now. You just want friend gone. You don't want working through this. And again, what's going to happen is this, to me, when someone confesses their love, they should, and it doesn't get returned, there should be a break in the relationship. There should be like a cooling off period. That would be my thinking. Like if I went to someone who was like, I love you, I want to be with you the rest of their life, and they're like, I don't see that at all. I would go, all right, I need to take some moments. I got to figure out my feelings. Obviously, I'm off. Let me go away. She didn't do that. To me, I think she came to your boyfriend or whatever you guys are because he was an easy solution to make it so she didn't feel badly. So I think that's why they didn't have a cooling off period. I think that's why she's still in his life. I think that's why she's watching you because she's like, who's this woman that is better than me, which it isn't even the case. Like, it's just, that's the match. Like, it's not a you or her thing. Like, and you know that too. Like, it's just, we're a great match and we have a connection that you guys obviously don't have. But I think it starts with the comfortability of your relationship and you saying to him things you feel as they come up with real stories that go with them. No?
Yeah, I think it's partly my insecurities coming out too. Like when they do hang out one-on-one, he tells me. So he's not trying to hide these things from me. And I think that's actually helping me, but I have to wrangle it back in and not make up all these crazy scenarios in my head of like, oh, they're spending time together. Like, that's just, it's silly. And so it's like this weird blend of like me dealing with some of my own insecurities, but also being upfront with him about how it makes me feel when I'm around her as well.
Well, but this is the other thing. If they're hanging out one-on-one, I would want my significant other to try and broker a truce between us. Like, and you have to be willing to have that truce. Like, I think I would want my significant other to be like, hey, how do I get you two friends? Because if this person means that much to them and you mean this much to them, for them to like call you out of the blue to say, hey, I'm trying to win you back, then he should be trying to make his life, the puzzle pieces of his life fit together. And if he's not doing that, that's where my question would come. It wouldn't be, fuck that bitch. It would be, hey, how come you're not trying to like make us friends? I want to be friends with her. I'm trying. I'm giving her first, second, third, fourth chance. Where are you in this? Why am I the only one working? Like, I think that's because when the friend comes up, it always becomes like a her or I situation. It's not that. It's not that. It's more, hey, why are you keeping me at arm's distance? Are you worried that I can't? I'm trying. I want to be friends with her because I like you. Like, I think that's maybe a better way to come at him than, hey, like, I think that is a part of the process because, and I know that's hard to do, but it's like, how do I keep it so unpersonal to me? Like, okay, I'll take you at your word. You're just trying to figure out with your friend. I'll take you at your word, but I want to figure it out with your friend too because I care so much about you that if one of your friends and I don't get along, it would kill me to know that that you don't hang out with them because of me. Like, be so ready to work on it that it would take him not trying for it to not happen. And then if he is trying, he'll get frustrated with his friend and see that she's not a real friend at all to me.
Yeah, because I have control over that situation in terms of like how I present myself. And then I kind of have to have her meet me halfway.
And the thing is, you could go I believe in going 2/3 of the way to make someone look ridiculous for not going 1/3 of the way. You have to make people look like a toddler. You have to, and the only way to do that is to be so unoffended and so clear-minded. And so, of course, we would hang out. Like, have your friend over. We're having people over. Have her out to dinner. Like, I would be so inviting that it would be like actually crazy for her to deny it. And to the point where I remember I did this show and I was in Vermont and I did a show and I was opening for someone. The crowd was very Vermont and Burlington. It was very, very crunchy. Okay. You could tell it was like it was like a march. Okay. And that's fine. I'm happy to do comedy for that crowd, but you could tell they didn't want me there. I walked out, they're like, and give it up for your host, Jared Freed. And they were like, what? Like, they were mad that I didn't come out like, like just looking like someone they wanted to like. And that's okay. And I remember there was someone that wouldn't even make eye contact with me. I was just looking at them just like, hey, where are you from? And I remember they were like just being really weird to me. And this was the whole crowd, not just them. And I said, where are you from? And they wouldn't answer. I go, hello? Are you okay? What's wrong? And I'm smiling. I'm happy. I'm not happy to have someone actively ignore me. I'm not happy to have someone act like that I'm a lesser person because they didn't expect me to be the person that they wanted to laugh with. But I have to make them in the position of, this is ridiculous, like, so, and I think the same can be said for your friend, your boyfriend's friend or your significant other's friend, whatever you are as friend. You can go so inviting, so game, so ready to meet them that he almost would have to see that it's ridiculous that they don't want to meet you, or he'd have to push them away to go, I guess this relationship isn't a true friendship, because it might not be. But do you feel helped, Bethany?
I feel more than helped. I feel inspired. Like I want to text him right now and be like, let's go. Let's hang out this weekend.
Let's party. Let's get them all together. Get the crew together. Bethany, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Jared, thank you. It was great to see you.
A pleasure. Listen, people, we're just helping real people, real problems. That's a tough one. I hope it works out. I think, listen, in the comments, I want you to let me know how you would take care of this situation. Do you have a friend in your life that's kind of, getting in the way of your relationships? Do you have a friend? Do you have a significant other who has a friend that's getting in the way? I want to hear about it in the comments section. And if you have a situation, send it in. jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. And title it Vent Sesh. We'll get you on this show. It's every Friday. And we'll be back next episode. Boom.